Something.
Meeting will come to order, please. Johanna, please read the statement of compliance and the teleconference procedure.
The notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual meeting notice was sent to the Press of Atlantic City, Star Ledger, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building, the municipal website, and filed in the office of the municipal clerk. Please turn off all cell phones. Welcome to the City of Margate's regular commission meeting for Thursday, September 17th, 2020. This meeting is being done via teleconferencing in compliance with the Division of Local Government Service Regulations. Before we begin, the procedure for this meeting is as follows. All visitors to the meeting will be muted until the public participation session is open. Once the public participation session begins, all visitors will be unmuted. Please announce your name and address and wait for the monitor to recognize you before you begin to speak. Each participation session will be 3 minutes in length, and you will be notified at the 10-second mark. When the public participation session completes, all visitors will be muted.
Thank you, Johanna. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker?
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Here.
Commissioner Blumberg?
I am here.
We have before us for approval the minutes of our regular and capital workshop meetings on September the 3rd. What is your pleasure?
I'll make a motion, we approve those.
I'll second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We will now open for public comment. There's 3 minutes segment to discuss anything you'd like. Is there any public comment?
Sewell, 22 West Drive.
Go ahead, Mr. Sewell.
Mayor, you three banditos suffer from a bad case of amnesia. Mayor, you have an excuse with acute Joe Bidenitis. However, Giovanni and Moishi Kapoyer's brain fog is a real puzzler. Can't they recall their campaign planks? If this were the case, you'd read the Boardwalk Nuts, the Riot Act from the get-go and put the kibosh on it. Mayor, you can't tell the voters, quote, this commission has an established record of fiscal responsibility. This is a joke, a cruel joke to senior citizen taxpayers. You repeated this farce on your largest size campaign mailing by insisting, quote, this commission has demonstrated fiscal restraint and responsibility with your tax dollars. Their record proves it. Once again, it's a total fabrication. Lastly, you three banditos foisted yet another fractured fairy tale of, quote, making sure government works effectively and efficiently. This would be funny if it weren't so sad. You three banditos lack the intestinal fortitude to stand up to the gimme gang. And as the 2020 census will clearly show, they are less than 1/3 year-round residents. Mayor, the legacy of you three banditos is that your tax and spendthrift ways have decimated the senior citizen taxpayers. Mayor, you have squandered the multiple opportunities to cut taxes like brigantine, an astounding 6 years in a row, creating a strong incentive for senior citizens to stay in place rather than flee to low-tax states like Florida. Mayor, it's not too late to straighten up and fly right. The insane boardwalk project must be rejected as far too costly and as an unnecessary redundancy. Mayor, why reinvent the wheel? Vendors Boardwalk works just fine. Plus, diverts traffic and parking problems away from Margate that simply can't cope with any additional parking space woes. However, Mayor, if you can't resist this ditzy brain-dead boardwalk project, then by gum, don't put a municipal bonded indebtedness millstone around the necks of senior citizens. It might just be the death knell for seniors to keep their homes. So, Mayor, wake up from your mental stupor and do what needs to be done.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Sewell. Anyone else? Public comment? This is just so wrong.
Art Cortilli, 114 North Lancaster Avenue. I had the need to go to City Hall today, the other City Hall, and I wanted to find out about election time. And it seemed that the girl didn't know anything. So after I filled out this form, did I ever know anybody that was ever near anybody? I don't know what Then I got an answer like, I don't know, I have to call somebody. I wanted to ask about the elections. Are the elections going to be held there? And I got an answer finally from someone she called. And the answer was that you're going to have ballots sent out to everybody. And everybody's going to get these ballots and evidently fill them out. I don't know whether you fill them out there or at the place. And then you might have to go to Ventnor, but then again, you can go here. And then I said, well, are there going to be machines here? I don't know. If there's going to be machines here, we would have to wipe down the buttons. Wow, does that sound like a tough job to me? Not really. It would take you 5 minutes. You wipe it off. As you go into the thing, you could have a dispenser for hand sanitizer. So you walk in with your hands free, sign the book, and you go in and vote. It takes you, a couple minutes. So that's kind of old-fashioned, but it doesn't put all of this other stuff in play, like thousands of people in the post office, people counting by hand. At the end of the night, you hit a button and it comes up. So many votes here, so many votes there. Machine, bingo, done. So right now, I don't know whether there's a machine, the machines are going to be there. I don't know if they're going to be wiped clean. I don't know if there's going to be hand sanitizer at the door, or if you're going to have to bring in your own hand-done ballot, or if you have to go to Ventnor and dump your ballots off. I don't know what Ventnor has to do with anything but extra counters and middlemen to start taking a look at who's voting which way. This to me is just an added many people and much money. Post office has got to be expensive to have all these people involved. It would take you a minute, 2 minutes in there. And we go to CVS, we go to ShopRite, we go to Acme. And you wash your hands as you go in, you stand in line, you walk down, you hold a cart, and that's okay. And this a simple thing like voting by yourself. You go in yourself. The lady even mentioned something about, well, you might touch the curtains. Yeah, this is okay. Well, anyway, that's all I have to say. So we really ought to get this message out as to what's going to happen in a month and a half.
Or it's a little hazy yet. It's up to the governor. It's not up to us.
Well, you have a month and a half, and I think you want to do it a little ahead of time.
All right.
Because at the end, she
would
said,
love to do that.
well, if nothing else, you really ought to get right on it. What am I getting on? A bike? What am I getting on? There's nothing to get on. I'm getting on you.
Okay.
So,
Thank you, Art.
Thanks, Art. Couldn't agree with you
Good
more.
comment. Anyone else? Motion to close public comment.
Come on, Steve.
I'll make that motion.
Wait,
Wait,
Steve,
wait.
talk.
Something for resolutions, but two things.
Go ahead.
So can we spill over? First of all,
Name and
Name
address.
and
Steve Warner, 103 North Sumner Avenue. I had heard something to the effect that if you vote in person, that's going to be like an absentee ballot or something. I mean, is there any truth to that? Or like they're going to possibly monkey around with if you go there and actually vote in person? I heard that. I don't know.
You have to wait till Thanksgiving to vote.
Wait till Thanksgiving. How about Christmas? Yeah.
As of now, my understanding is that all the ballots will be mailed They want everybody to vote by mail. The only ones that can go vote in person is if you're handicapped. So they've got to have some way to take care of these people.
Right.
And if you go, you have to do, I guess, a provisional. Is that correct? Which is a
Right,
testimony.
a
that you
provisional
haven't
ballot or
voted.
something, which is even less legitimate than probably a
They
mail.
took our right to vote away and told us everything's going to be done through the mail.
Well,
Yeah, well, you know how New Jersey's gonna go anyhow, but whatever. Okay, can we get up to resolutions? No?
next time, okay?
Well,
Just stay right there.
We have to close it. We have to close this. You can just stay right there. Okay. Any other public comment? Is there a motion to close public comment?
I'll make that motion again.
I'll second. Sorry.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We'll now do public comment on resolutions. Your name and address, please.
Steve Warner, 103 North Sumner Avenue. I'd just like to make a comment supporting the Margate Police Department. I'd like to say I support the Margate Police Department 100%. I've supported the Margate Police Department my entire life. I think they do a great job. And I'd just like to amplify on that. I support the police departments across this country. I think they're under incredible pressure, ridiculous pressure, okay, by, I don't want to even say what they are, but I think a lot of this borders on treason. I think they should be dealt with much more strongly. They got the Sedition Act in World War I. Try them with federal charges, Sedition Act, because that's what it is, it's treason. They're trying to overthrow the country, and it's completely wrong. What they're doing to the police is beyond belief, and my heart goes out to them. I'm really sorry for everything that happened. But I've always felt the police are the first line of defense, and they are, and it's a tough job. But anyhow, that's just my feeling. And again, Chief, I think the Margate Police do an excellent job, and I appreciate everything you guys have done, ever done. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Steve. Is there any other public comment on resolutions?
I'll move to close public comment.
I'll second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Johanna, please carry on.
May I have a motion for resolution number 179, 2020, authorizing payment of claims?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 180, 2020, authorizing payment to Colmar Home Center?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
I abstain.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 181, 2020, authorizing payment to Jersey Architect Door and Supply Company?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
I'll abstain.
May I have a motion for resolution number 182, 2020, supporting the Margate City Police Department? Commissioner Amadeo, would you like to speak?
Yes, I would. Mayor, could I read Resolution 182
Please,
into the
please do.
record before the vote?
Please.
Thank you. Whereas police officers perform vital and varied community services, and the Margate Police Department is a respected part of the Margate city government. And whereas sworn police officers work in cooperation with officers from adjoining communities and officers of other law enforcement agencies to keep order and to protect persons and property. And whereas Margate police officers are selected from the top of a competitive list supplied by the New Jersey Department of Personnel, Civil Service, and whereas Margate police officers receive basic training prescribed by the State of New Jersey Police Training Commission and graduate from certified police academies, and whereas all police officers in the state of New Jersey are bound by the Attorney General's use of force guidelines and are trained twice a year on these guidelines. And whereas the Margate Police Department is an accredited agency, having first received said accreditation from the New Jersey Association of Chiefs of Police in 2016, after being certified in 112 standards, which were reviewed and recertified in 2019. And whereas the Margate Police Department has used motor vehicle recorders and body-worn cameras for all officers since 2016, being one of the first police agencies in the county to do so. And whereas many Margate police officers were raised in Margate and/or are current Margate residents, and our neighbors know the community well. And whereas they, like all professional police officers across the nation, deserve our respect and appreciation, especially during times of national unrest and divisiveness. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Margate that on behalf of all the residents, that all sworn members of the Margate Police Department be recognized for their dedication, for their professionalism, for their ongoing training, for their respect for the quality of life of all Margate residents and visitors, and for their unending honor and daily devotion to duty to protect all citizens from harm at the risk of their own lives. Be it further resolved that the Margate Board of Commissioners will continue to provide sufficient resources to allow the Margate Police Department to fulfill its mission on behalf of all Margate residents. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Commissioner.
May I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you. Very good.
Where is it?
Thank you, Chief, Captain Cashin, and all the men and women of our police department for keeping us safe and protecting us, and we really appreciate the job you do. All.
Thank you for the support from the mayor and the commissioners and the city and the residents. We do appreciate it.
May I have a motion for the consent agenda, which consists of resolution number 183, 2020 through 184,
I'll
2020.
make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you, Johanna. Is there any other business, any other comments? Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you all for being here.